So yeah, that's how I found myself in the middle of North Dakota attending a world premiere. Don't worry, I played it totally cool. The best one! That's been the best one! Psych! I've never been cool a day in my life. But let's run it back so I can tell y'all how I got here. The television network INSP hit me up and they were like, Tiffy, you like talking about TV and movies, right? And I was like, yeah. And then they were all, well, do you want to go to the real place that the show was based off of and attend the season 2 world premiere? And I was like, who all gonna be there? They said the cast and Bugs. I said, oh, where is it? Damn, they said North Dakota. And you know what? I said, yeehaw. So off I went on the smallest plane I have ever been on. I didn't know if we were gonna make it. To Dickinson, North Dakota, where unfortunately your girl was locked out of her room. Pause. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I was having a lot of doubts at this point. No, because what do you mean that I'm alone in the middle of North Dakota? I can't get a hold of my contact. The lobby is open, but there is no one working at the front desk. And it is the middle of the night. I was very scared. Luckily, I am persistent. And once I was able to get a hold of somebody, they moved very quickly to get me in my room. It was just an unfortunate, random thing that happened, but I do appreciate the production company for moving very quickly to make sure that I was safe. Moving on. The room is actually very cute and cozy, and you know that the place wasn't terrifying when the sun was up. I had the best breakfast sandwich of my life. Now I need to know whose Nana made this biscuit. Then we went to the Theodore Roosevelt National Park. I've never been to a national park before. Look at all this nature. And it's dope because I'm watching the cast of Elkhorn, which is based off of Teddy Roosevelt's young years before he became the president. He spent some time in the Badlands of North Dakota. So we were essentially walking in his footsteps, seeing the remains of the homes and structures either built by him or his enemies. Of course, I impulse bought some books at the gift shop. Come to find out they were not lying about the bugs, but I think that I was a good sport. I wore the right shoes. All this hiking, yay. And there was no signal, none. But there were cows. I like cows. I couldn't really get with this sandwich and pasta salad, question mark? But that's okay because I was prepared. And then that evening we went to a mixer at the Cowboy Hall of Fame. There were so many people involved with the creation of the show and from the town itself, from Medora. So this was a very cool evening before the premiere, which took place the next day. And let me tell you something. I've been fortunate to where I've been to quite a few premieres in LA for shows and movies, and it's been really cool. And I actually get really nervous about red carpet interviews. But this cast was filled with such great people, and they were great all weekend. They were great on the carpet. I had them shake my hand in character. He plays the villain of the series, and I lost it. His character can get villain PR on the house. They premiered the first episode of season 2. There was a Q&A with the cast afterwards. And there is so much pride in this town, in Medora, where we were, because of their place in American history. I learned a lot about Medora, North Dakota, and the super nice people that live there. And I wouldn't have learned this much or been able to experience this if I hadn't agreed to this trip, so I'm super happy that I did. There was one last mixer to celebrate the world premiere of Elkhorn season 2. You can watch it on Prime or the INSP website now. I got a link for y'all in my bio. And the next morning we woke up dumb early to get back on that super tiny plane where, again, I didn't know if I was gonna make it back to y'all, but I did. And that was my super dope Elkhorn weekend before I accidentally broke my monitor. Okay, bye!